If you're feeling stuck, unmotivated, and like you can't seem to get back on track, you're not alone. Slumps happen to all of us. We all go through periods of demotivation, feeling uninspired, and feeling like we're caught in cycles that we simply can't get out of. But the good news, you don't have to stay there. Even if it feels like right now there's no way out and you've been trying to get out of this cycle for weeks or even months, I'm about to tell you 5 key mindset shifts that are going to help you feel more motivated and allow you to get out of this slump. If you don't know me, I am Nicola. I'm a mindset expert, a business strategist, and helping women like you to build a success-driven mindset so they can go on to live out their dream life. It sounds very wishy-washy woo-woo, but I have worked with over 275 clients to help them achieve their definition of success and live out a life that brings great fulfillment to each and every one of them. So, as I say, I'm going to be giving you 5 mindset shifts in this video to help you get out of that slump fast, things that you can go away and implement right away today. So, I want to give you a little bit of a background story first, because I've had my fair few number of slumps. I mean, haven't we all? Because guess what? Not every day do we wake up feeling inspired, motivated, ready to give our 100% energy and commitment. Things like hormones, cycles, life events, unexpected curveballs that life throws at us, they're totally normal. And a lot of those things are outside of our control. So whilst it's important to recognize that there are things outside of our control that will impact our motivation and contribute to that feeling of feeling stuck or in a slump, ultimately we have a choice with how we move forward. We have a choice every single day of how we want to show up. We have a choice in the actions that we make, and we have a choice in the way that we choose to see these situations. And even though there'll be times where we feel like there really is no choice, I promise you there always are. And so I've learned over the past 5 years of being a mindset coach, training as a transformational life coach, and really looking at the neuroscience in our mind of what happens, the way that our brain is wired, that we have the power to rewire our brain. And by doing so, we can actually strengthen the confidence, self-belief, the motivation, the discipline that we have, so that when these things do crop up, that catch us off guard, that drain our energy, that really trigger us, we always are able to regain the control and choose how we move forward. And there's one quick cycle that I want to talk through before I go into the five shifts. And this is the thought, belief, action, results cycle, which I'm going to pop up here. And this is basically a diagram to show that everything that we think or believe impacts the results that we see in our reality. Now, what I mean by this in very simple terms is our thoughts impact how we feel. How we feel impacts the actions that we take, and those actions that we take are what lead to the results. So if we're having thoughts or beliefs around not being good enough, not feeling ready, not being capable, not having enough time, etc., those are going to trigger feelings of unworthiness, demotivation, lack of enthusiasm. And so the results that we see are going to be lower or smaller than those that we know we are capable of achieving. And the same for the reverse. If we have thoughts of, I am successful, I have the skills required, I am capable, I am worthy, I am deserving, that's going to empower us to take bolder moves. And those bolder moves are going to lead to greater results. So keep that in mind moving forward. And now let's get into the 5 mindset shifts. Mindset shift number 1 is stop beating yourself up. The more we guilt ourselves for being in a slump, the worse it gets. So instead of thinking, why am I so unmotivated? Or why can't I do the thing? Ask yourself, what do I need right now? This is such a powerful question, because that self-criticism is what's keeping you stuck, because it's draining all of your energy. So what we want to be thinking about is, how can we be a bit more compassionate to ourselves? In fact, research shows that self-compassion improves our resilience. Rather than trying to push or force or beat ourselves up, actually sit and say, what do I need right now? Is it fresh air? Is it speaking to a friend? Is it shutting my laptop and going for a walk? So rather than thinking I should do this or I need to do this, swap this for I could. I could be more productive. I could take a break. I could reach out to a friend. And that suddenly takes that pressure off of I need to do this, I have to do this, to actually I get to do this and I could do this. And I know that that thing is going to help me feel more motivated. So speak to yourself like a friend. Imagine what advice you would give to your friend, your sister, your partner, and what you would say to them if they were feeling stuck. And then apply that same kindness to you. I promise you it works like magic. Mindset shift number 2 is shrink the focus. Now, slumps can make everything feel very overwhelming. And instead of getting caught up in that spiraling or that catastrophizing, saying things like, I need to fix my whole life and everything's going wrong, shrink the focus. So what's one thing you can do today? What's 3 steps you can take this week? And think about it on a smaller basis. So shrink the focus away from the big picture and focus in on the now. And the reason why this works is because our brain resists big, vague goals. It can't connect to them, they don't really make sense, and they're very overwhelming. Whereas those small wins is what creates momentum. It's like a compounding effect. If you do 1 step every single day, by the end of the week, you've done 7 steps, and it goes on and on and on. So once you start, it's actually that action that then cultivates more motivation, and it becomes a bit of a domino effect. So what I would like you to think about is, how can you introduce a 5-minute rule? Commit to just 5 minutes of the task that you're confronted with, the block that you're facing, the challenge that you're trying to overcome. Commit to just 5 minutes each day. And if after those 5 minutes you want to stop, not a problem. You've done the 5 minutes. But actually, what I see with clients is they end up wanting to carry on, which is a really great thing. So use these micro goals, get super specific, give yourself a 5-minute non-negotiable time block, and be clear on what that goal is. So rather than apply for the job, could it be that you want to update the first few lines of your CV? Rather than go on a run, is it that you plot the route that you're going to go on? Rather than get fitter or eat healthier, is it that you're going to plan 1 meal this week that is healthier and more nutritious? Okay, next up is mindset shift number 3, and this is all around changing your environment. If you're in the same place, doing the same things, it's no wonder that you feel you're in a slump or that you're stuck. Changing your scenery, whether it's working from a coffee shop, working from a different room in your house, or even just changing where you're working in your room, makes a massive difference. And I actually spoke about this in a recent video all around how to romanticize your life for free, where one of them was creating your space as if it were a sanctuary. And this is so powerful because a shift in energy, a shift in space and color and scent changes things up. When we actually move around, that provides a mental reset. So even just going for a 5-minute walk helps us shift up that energy and helps us to get out of our head a little bit, which is ultimately what we're trying to do here. So here's your actionable tip. Try the pattern interrupt habit. And that's just doing something completely different, even if it's something like stepping outside, going for a walk around the block, or even going upstairs and changing your outfit. Just by shifting up your energy and interrupting those habits or those thought processes is going to help. So think about changing the senses in your environment, whether that's with new colors, with new smells, with new sights, and also interrupting your patterns. Mindset shift number 4, focus on input, not just output. One of the biggest reasons why slumps happen is because we keep pushing on without refueling or recharging. If you've been drained of motivation and you feel stuck, flat, unenthusiastic, and uninspired, you need to recharge. We are like batteries. We need to refuel, recharge, reset, and that happens by taking time away, by having something to eat, by resting, And so what you consume is as important as what you produce. You can't produce your best work if you're empty on the inside. Slumps mean that you are depleted in some way. They're often a sign that you need refueling. So filling up your tank is just as productive as doing the work itself. Clearly your body needs more energy. So if you're sat there and you can't do the task, you can't write the job application, you can't come up with your next business idea, rather than forcing it, actually take that as a sign that your body needs a refuel of energy and a chance to switch off just for a little bit. So switch from consuming passively to consuming actively. Be intentional with how you're consuming. What are you consuming? Are you turning to your phone and scrolling through social media? Or actually are you taking yourself away, getting fresh air and putting some fuel into your body? So jot down 2 or 3 ideas that come to mind now. Like, what do you know helps you feel recharged and refueled? I love things like making a delicious, nutritious smoothie, or when the sun's going out, going for like a 10-15 minute walk just to get some fresh air without my phone. I also know that sometimes I just need to change up my outfit and have a little bit of a read, away from screens. So being really mindful about those things that help you feel recharged. Okay, finally, we are on to mindset shift number 5. And this is focusing on discipline versus motivation. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Motivation is unreliable, whereas discipline is what gets you out of a slump. Discipline is such an underrated trait that all of the successful people that you know, whether it's the CEOs, the leaders, the pop stars, the athletes, discipline is what's got them there. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. So we need to make sure you are taking action in the first place. You don't wait until you feel ready or for the right time to do the thing. You start, and that's what then fuels greater motivation because you see momentum, you see progress, you see results. So it's really about thinking about making yourself disciplined to do the thing in the first place, because by doing the thing, you then feel more motivated. And slumps can often feel never-ending because people are simply sitting around waiting for inspiration to hit or waiting for their energy levels to increase. And that's never going to happen unless we are doing things intentionally and proactively to help with that motivation. So what I like to recommend in these situations is set a non-negotiable minimum. Instead of skipping workouts entirely, commit to 10 minutes. Instead of ignoring the work or shutting your laptop and waiting until tomorrow, commit to sending 1 email or writing up 1 draft or creating 1 piece of content. These tiny efforts, like I said at the beginning, are what allow the progress to build over time. So let me know, out of these 5 shifts, which one resonates the most? Which one are you going to try straight away? I want to know in the comments which one you're going to commit to, because accountability here is key. There's one thing learning the shifts, the next thing is actually implementing them. So to help yourself be held accountable, pop them in the comments, and then I'm going to give you a bonus tip based on the mindset shift that you're going to use. And if you love this video, you will love my most recent video on romanticizing your day-to-day life, where I talk about 7 free ways that you can adopt and glamorize and make your day-to-day more magical, more easeful, more fulfilling without spending a penny. And it all comes down to mindset, behaviors, and shifts in perspective. So if you love this kind of content, you're going to love that video too. So make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments which mindset shift you are going to try first.